Hey VV Nation, welcome to the channel. Welcome to tonight's video. Glad to be back. By the way, my name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest, and always glad to bring videos like this to your attention. Ryan did a great video last night in my absence in regards to rare earth metals. There's a lot of companies that are moving because of the tariffs, and one of them is I'm going to say aerospace and defense. So tonight is going to be about the top aerospace and defense stock picks. And why is that? Hey, VV Nation, I'm Glenn.
And I'm Ryan. We've got a special event coming next month, May 1st. We're finally hitting the road. Now, we will be hosting some live streams. Tell them a little bit about the live streams we'll be doing.
We're going to have the Stock Analysis Power Hour. Ryan will host that. Bring your stocks. Let Ryan break them down for you. I'll also do a live stream called Trending Thursday. That's where we go through, look at what's going on in the market, what's going on in the news, and we analyze stocks. We also have a live presentation for those people who will be attending live as well. What's that, Ryan?
Now, we do have the presentation titled Unlocking the Secrets of Financial Success. Now, to register for free and get the details, just go to vectorvest.com/roadshow.
Global defense spending soars to a new high. Not just us spending money on defense, but globally. How about this? In response to the rising threat perceptions, global defense spending rose $2.4 trillion in 2024. And guess what? It's probably just going to go up even more overall in 2025. As we go down the list here, Europe, NATO, and Russia are all getting into the defense spending. But this is what I saw that caught my attention. Military spending, the defense budget for current NATO members, 2008 to 2024. Look at this. The United States, $696 billion, all right, because this is U.S. billion current. $696 billion. The next one behind us is United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, Canada, Spain. Notice China's not up here. All right, China probably would be right behind us. I wonder if this will do for, nope, this is only looking at NATO people. It's kind of interesting. I didn't realize that. But look at that. Not there. China's not there. Or are they? No, they're not there. But you can see all the way down from Iceland down to 0.04, all the way up to us, $696 billion. That's a lot of money. And guess what? This money has to be spent on what? The companies to get contracts, to do what? Go up in price, to do what? Give us opportunities to make money in the stock market. So yes, defense spending is increasing globally, $2.4 trillion. That's a lot of dough. And now we're gonna drill down to find out the companies that are getting these contracts. So this video from this perspective is broken down into 3 different segments for defense spending. Contracts for the big ticket items like airplanes. You know that Boeing got the contract for the F-47, all right? Boeing's also in the running for the new air dominance for the Navy, the F/A-XX. We got new big ships coming out, all kinds of stuff. Companies are getting contracts to get these things done. Number 2, drones. Drones are starting to play a more important role in warfare. Why? Because they're unmanned. Many of them are cheap, and it keeps boots off the ground. So you save people's lives while fighting a war. Kind of a dichotomy of sort of things. And the third segment for me is going to be AI. All right, AI is going to play a major role as well in being able to make things more efficient for us to use and that kind of thing. So, next one. Talking about spending money, defense stocks to benefit after Donald Trump announces a $1 trillion U.S. military budget. $1 trillion, that's a lot of money that's going to be able to get divvied out to a lot of different companies that we can invest in and make money. All right, so as we continue on, my stock that I like, my favorite stock that I like in the defense space is DFEN. All right, I want to show you why. When you invest in the market, you need to be diversified. DFEN keeps you somewhat diversified, as you'll see in a second. Let's scroll down. Oh, and another thing, why am I doing this video now? Because I'm looking at the price change from its benchmark, all right, over the last 5 days. It's a lot higher than its benchmark. Look at that, right? 30%, 35%. Its benchmark is sitting about 10%. There's a lot of money going into this, right? But let's go back 3 months. The benchmark was higher. 2 months, the benchmark was higher. 1 month, the benchmark was higher. Last 10 days, the benchmark is higher. Why am I doing the video now? Over the last 5 days, we are higher in DFEN against its benchmark. All right, let's scroll down a little bit more, and this is important right here, the diversification. The top 10 holdings that DFEN holds. GE happens to be the biggest part of it at 19.82%. Raytheon, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, General Dynamics, Transdyne, Homet, L3, Lockheed Martin, and Axon. Axon is actually in this list. I didn't think that it was, but it is. And notice that 4% or higher, with the exception of Raytheon at 16% and GE at 19%. So I'd consider it to be diversified, even though it's got heavy holdings in two. And overall, it's in the aerospace and defense space. 99% of its of this ETF is in that. All right. So as we continue moving on, let's talk about the companies that are getting contracts. Rocket Lab soars on defense contract news. That was as of today. Shares of Rocket Lab surged 10%. The company announcement is involvement in a multi-billion-dollar defense contracts with the U.S. and U.K. Hypersonic technology. Everybody wants the doggone hypersonic missile in development. So there's Rocket Lab. Kratos. Now, this story is a little older, but it secured a $4 million contract from the Navy. Cassie, I don't know how to quite say that, secures a $66 million order that happened earlier this month. Announced on Monday it's been awarded a 5-year task order valued up to $66 million for the Navy. All right, so those are stories that I could find really recently in regards to contracts. Let's talk about EVs. AeroVironment NASDAQ gains 18% in a week after Army contract resumes. All right. A significant spike in price. Get that out of here. 18% over the last week, notably buoyed by the Department of the Army's cancellation of a stop work order. This positive development for AeroVironment, which relates to important U.S. government contracts, appears to have counteracted broader market trends where the NASDAQ fell by 4%. All right, so that's on an EV space. How about elbit? Elbit Systems hits record high earnings as a rise in defense spending rose to a record high after the Israeli defense company reported better than expected earnings. The company forecasted expansion in 2025, revenue higher. The company also announced a quarterly dividend paying back to the investors. More than 30% of Elbit's revenue comes from Israel, which has been engaged in military operations, including munitions, drones, guided rocket systems, and reconnaissance tools. Who else? Now, so those are two stories on two companies out there from the role of drones. Now, I couldn't find anything more recent, but that's what I got. Now, let's talk about AI. NATO buys Palantir AI warfighting Maven software system. Everybody in the AI space is trying to get into the defense. Why? So they become more efficient in how we fight. What else? Talking about with defense, tech booming, and Palantir stock up 323% over the past year. He's finally, the CEO has finally been vindicated. All right. The co-founder and chief of Palantir maker of data analysis software for both private sector and government applications, and the most famously for the U.S. military. So also talking about AI, I'm going to talk about two other stocks. Well, not one we already just talked about, but the other one is BBAI. Stands out in the defense and security sector with its deep domain expertise in AI-powered decision intelligence. Why is that important? Well, because these rockets get sent off and they get to go autonomous and go do what they got to do. They've got to have the software and the ability to do that. The next stock, now I look at this one, I'm like, I don't know if I really like this stock, but let's go look at the second stock again. It's Palantir with proprietary platforms that enable optimized decision-making. Again, These rockets that go become very smart rockets. You shoot them off and let them go and hit their targets. They need defense. They actually need the technology behind it to make it happen. So Palantir and BBAI are two stocks I'm keeping my eyes on. And another stock in this space, L3. Stocks to watch, L3 Harris Technologies. This is from a technical standpoint, RS rating jumping up to 81. So those are the stories that I have on the technologies that are out there. Again, broken down into three things: contracts, drones, and AI. I think that's a great way to cover this space. Now I'm going to get into the software, and I created a watch list in regards to all of these stocks. And I was like, holy smokes, I got 20 stocks. Guess what, folks? I don't want to go over 20 stocks, but this is a good watch list of stocks to cover for this space. All right, a good, Kratos, Axon is in here, TransDigm, Northrop Grumman, GD, Howmet, Rolls-Royce. Defend is my number one stock. So in order to break this list down so that I didn't have to go over 20 stocks, I broke it down this way. Defense stocks too. What I did is took out all of the stocks that were in the one ETF, Defend, and put in Defend. These stocks that I still have left were not in the Defend ETF. All right, now keep in mind that the Defend ETF is a triple leverage ETF. So it's a very aggressive way of investing. All right, you got to understand that. But I figured I was more diversified in the aerospace and defense space with just Defend. AV is in here, Bucks. Now let's do this. I'm going to scroll over. I'm going to sort this by the sector. And I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, that's a good way to count, Glenn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the aerospace and defense, and others outside but are pertaining to defense. Palantir, Defend again is an ETF, Marvel Tech as an electronic, diversified companies, Butler National, and CACI Computer. All of these are being represented in the whole aerospace and defense space, but instead of looking at 20 stocks, I broke it down to only looking at 10. Now, I want to show you something. Look at this, RV below 1, RS above 1. So these companies, as they're going up, possibly in price, I would really like to see them have, these are not great growth companies, not quite yet. RV below 1, RT at 0.99. I'm waiting for these to get above the value of 1. As a matter of fact, let's go look at the average group graph. Look at the move. All right, here's the space on my 10 stocks. They're moving up, coming up to a 1-month high. I'm looking at a 1-month graph, coming up to a 1-month high, not that far away from it. If it breaks through that, these stocks are going to be on a tear. They're already moving from this low, broke through this level of a level of resistance, swing high right there, broke through. That's a positive sign. Look at the volume. RT is not above 1. I'd be careful with that. These are all overvalued, but I'm watching value rise right now. That's a positive sign. Value is rising as these stocks are on the rise as well. So that's my group of stocks. Now, let's go back in time. You know me from the perspective of momentum. Are these in an uptrend? Are they moving up? Going to the first trading day of January. Let's do a quick test. Are they up or down? Look at that, 5%. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these stocks are double-digit winners year to date. ESLT, Rolls-Royce, Palantir, Kratos, double-digit winners. Defend, a winner. CACI, a winner. And these are the stocks that are hurting us. AV, Bucks, Rocket Labs, and Marvel. But these stocks are up about 5.5%, almost 6%, where the composite is down over 7%. These stocks are definitely bucking the trend, but it makes sense if there's a lot of money running into these stocks and being able to play these stocks to make money. All right, let's go back and stream these. You know what I'm going to do on the fly? We're going to build a portfolio. So these are 10 stocks with Defend in here, taking up about 10 of those stocks all by themselves, all right, in one ticker symbol, Defend. Notice that on a day like today, the market is, what is the market doing? The market is moving up, a little bit of wick at the top of the candle. Let me move that over because somebody's going to say, Glenn, your big head was in the way. I'm going to hear that. There it is. There's the wick in today's candle coming through. That's a historic day, but just holding pat. We'll see. Up day, but a lot of selling pressure. And I'm looking at out of the 10 stocks, 8 out of the 10 stocks are going up today. I got to like that. And let's graph them all real quick. All right. I've got notes. Palantir trending higher. Broke through a level of resistance. Got another level of resistance here below the trend line. I do like that it's trending higher. And I'm looking for RT to get above 1. Let's go to the next one. Defend, nicely trending higher. This is more volatile in the move though, right? But definitely remember, it's a triple leverage ETF. RT is on the rise. Let's go to the next one, Marvel Tech. I'm not ready for this one yet. This one is trending lower. Don't have breaking above the trend line. RT is below 1. I would wait on that. I like the space, but I would wait on that. Bucks trading higher. All right, RT needs to be above 1. I'd wait for that. Next one, CACI trending higher, undervalued. Value dropped because of today's move. And look at RT trending higher. I like that. Next one, AVAV, uptrend, broke through the uptrend. I'd watch it. Is it a parabolic move? And RT is below 1. I'd be careful with AVAV. All right, ESLT trending higher, RT above 1. Watch volume though. Interesting as I watch the stock's price move up. Where's volume? Let's go to the next one. Katos in that drone space. Trending higher, down for a couple of days, but still in the uptrend. RT trending higher. Let's go to the next one. Rocket Labs, nice move. A little bit of selling pressure today. I would really like for RT to get above 1, and it's above the 50-day moving average. There is some commitment moving into this stock. And let's go to the last one. Rolls-Royce trending higher. RT is rising. I'd like to see more volume. Folks, now let's do one last thing. We're going to create a portfolio of these really quick. Add the portfolio. Going to create a new portfolio. We're going to call this 2025 defense stocks. Defense stocks. Doing it on the fly. How much money do I want to put in here? Let's go put in 40 grand. We don't want any commission, long. Click on OK. Open the portfolio. So we just built this portfolio live in this video. All right, down a little bit. That's all right. I got to put stops on here. ROI, nothing is moving up yet. I'm going to put stops. So how do I do that? I'm going to highlight them all. I'm going to edit, build a custom trading system. We're not using market timing. All I really want to do is set stops. Stop criteria. I'm going to do a trailing stop. No, yeah, trailing stop at 10%. More settings. Search, none. Now I can save it. So now we've created this portfolio on the fly, and now it's set up with a 10% trailing stop. We'll watch this throughout the rest of the year. I think that this is a group of stocks that's going to stand to make you guys a lot of money. Money is being spent. It's being spent on companies that we can invest in. And if the money's being spent and the company's prices are going up, you stand the chance on making money. Again, 3 different segments to keep us diversified. Companies getting contracts, companies developing drones, and then, of course, the AI aspect. I think this is going to be a nice portfolio of stocks to keep our eyes on. Folks, if you're brand new to the channel and you like what we did here today, consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be alerted when videos like this come out. All you other folks who are already subscribers to the channel, if you like what we did here, and I did have some help from a subscriber. Thank you, Cody, for your help. Got to give you a shout out. Gave me a lot of good information. I took that information and researched it a little bit more. So thank you very much, Cody, shouting you out right now. Hit the like button, share this content. Hit the like button, share this content. This could be a powerhouse way to make some money in the stock market. Folks, this video is over. And until the next time, see ya.